Hello, everybody. Welcome to Left Side Lane Podcast. This is Craig Monroe and Scotty Kramer. Um, Unfortunately, we lost the video component to our first episode because we're just absolutely amateurs.
I have no idea what we're doing.
No, really don't. So we just wanted to put this in the front. We'll have the video for the rest of the episodes. So this will be the only one where you don't get to see, the two of us strapping young lads.
For the whole episode.
Yeah, but we want to thank you guys. It's taken a while to get to where we're ready to, finally record, but we're doing it now, and you guys have shown a lot of support, so we appreciate that, first of all. And without further ado, here's the first episode. We hope you enjoy.
Okay, this is recording now.
Oh, God. So are we starting?
I guess so.
Well,
we've been yelling at each other for the past 20 minutes trying to decide what to talk about. But yeah.
we still ain't got a clue, really.
I know, not really, which is probably definitely apparent. But anyway, welcome to Left Side of the Lane Podcast. This is the first episode. I can't believe we're finally doing it.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for about, really since the bowling season started.
Yeah, I know. We, I don't know, it feels so weird. Huh?
We're, 4 months into the bowling season?
I think so, yeah. What is it, December?
Something like that.
Christmas. Happy holidays. So, yeah, I mean, this feels so weird now because, like you said, we've been talking about it. It's not how I envisioned it, really. It's a little bit more redneck, I feel like, than what I had in mind. So, I don't know. What do you think? We didn't talk about this before, but what is your goal for this podcast? I mean, where do you see it going? Your dream?
I mean, the more we talk about it, the more it seems realistic to be able to turn it into more than just a podcast. Turn it into like a not a company, but like a brand maybe, where we get T-shirts and stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I look in here and I'm seeing the carton that we have the camera set up on. And I can envision I have my own camera.
Monitors where we can see ourselves.
So I mean, we have no clue what we look like right now. But having our own cameras and then a soundboard, I really want one of those.
Because this makes sure I ain't doing it.
A room with maybe there's not a window over there.
Yeah, where we get distracted, or maybe we're not actually in a bowling alley at some point.
I don't know. Well, don't give our location away.
Well, everybody knows.
Okay, well. They could probably hear the balls.
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
background.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so I don't know. Are we going to introduce ourselves here or what? I mean, do these people know who we are?
I mean, most of them probably do.
I think they do. But just in case you don't, I'm Craig Monroe. That's it.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. No, I graduated from Southside High School. Where I started my bowling career when I was a freshman. That's all I started bowling when I was a freshman.
That's insane.
And
I couldn't imagine.
Huh?
I don't think I'd even want, if I would have never bowled and somebody was like, hey, you're a freshman in high school, do you want to bowl? I'd be like, well, why? Why would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is not something I just feel like I'd get into if I hadn't been born into it.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, I guess I started bowling in a league at Liberty Bowl, and you were there, weren't you? When did you start bowling? What year?
When I was about 3, so I mean.
So you were probably there.
I bowled in the league when I was 4 or 5. I was down in the bumpers, and I hated it. I was 4 or 5, and I was like, I don't want to use bumpers.
Oh, I thought you meant you hated bowling. I was like, well, that's unfortunate.
No. I was using bumpers, and I was like, I remember thinking this as a little kid. I was like, this ain't even right. I can't get a 0. How's that work?
Well, now you're alienating everybody that's watching that's using bumpers. How do you feel about that?
Grow up.
I actually had this conversation with my dad the other day. He was like, I was talking to him about this podcast that we're starting and all that stuff. And he was like, when you first started, I never thought that you would get it right. He was like, you were just complete trash. And he was right. Have you ever seen videos of me from back then?
The one you and Matt just shared the other day.
That's trash.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
And that was good. I was in high school at that point,
right.
But before then, I had the little hop, Oh man, I'll have to see I think it's because we're both little, and we're both
Well,
trying
yeah.
to.
Well, I'm pretty like, I'm not tall, but like
You
I'm
gonna tell me
taller
you're
than
not
most
little?
people. Huh?
No,
Yeah, I'm
go
not
ahead.
little. I'm not little. No, but when I was little, when I was 7, 8 years old, I was bowling with high schoolers, like because
Mhm.
Slavin coached the girls team and my sister bowled, so
Mhm.
I'd always go with them. But like, I was like, man, I'm not throwing the ball hard enough. Can't do it. Like, so I'd run to the line. Well, then I got to be 8th grade, freshman in high school, and I'm throwing the ball 20 miles an hour with
Mhm.
about 2 revs, and I was like, this ain't gonna work at all. And I had that hop because I ran to the line. And I was like, I had so much momentum, I couldn't stop ever.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where I fouled probably every shot,
Yeah.
just because I had so much momentum.
I think you still do that.
No.
Yeah. I think we bowled on the league together, you and I.
At Liberty Bowl.
Yeah. What year was that? Long time ago.
I have to look at the first place trophy.
Yeah, we won. Didn't we?
Yeah.
It was a summer league. I still have it.
Me too, somewhere.
That's adorable. But yeah, that had to be like 2008, right?
I would
No?
have been 6. There ain't no way.
6 years old?
I would have been 6 years old. I was probably 10.
10?
I'd say
So-
it's probably 2011. I think 2011 is the money year. That's what it is right there.
The money year?
Yep, that's right on the money. 2011.
I don't know because that video I just shared of Matt and I bowling. We'll have to share that on the podcast page now because now everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" But that was 2011.
It's probably close to the same time.
You might be right.
Because I mean, you're still older. I mean, I'm pretty sure you was in high school.
Maybe. Yeah, if I was
Pretty sure.
like getting competitive, then yeah, I definitely was in high school at the time. But yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You was introducing yourself.
Oh God, that was forever ago. There's this thing that happens in nature. It's like it's a mathematical term. It's called the Monroe tangent. It's like calculus or something. And it happens when you're talking about a subject and then somebody picks apart like one piece that was said and goes complete, and you never come around back to.
Well, we came around back to it. So.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll have to put like an alert for that. The Monroe tangent is coming. It's named after me. If you didn't know that. So yeah. So I mean, that's me. Did I even say anything else about myself?
You said I'm Craig Monroe, and I
Just started
where I started my bowling career.
I guess I should finish that thought. So I won state my junior year in 2013. I know I don't like talking about it.
I don't like talking about it either.
About me?
No, just state in general. Bad
Oh
memories.
yeah. Well, that's true. I got good memories of
Well, I'm glad you do.
Mhm.
Makes one of us.
I think that's what most people probably know me for. Really? You think that's true? That was 7 years ago now. That's kind of sad, ain't it?
Well, I mean, you're one of the few people from around here that bowl everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's a big thing.
Mhm.
That's why probably most people know you now. I mean, like
Probably.
that group, like you just went and bowled with the Bloomington group or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like they didn't know you.
That's
before
true.
them.
Probably right. That's probably right. But let me just finish my introduction
Yeah, you
real
go
quick
ahead.
because
I'm
we've been
sorry.
talking for a long time and nobody knows who you are. So I coached. I bowled in college too for Ball State for 4 years. I had some success there. I won a tournament or two. And then I went on to coach Ball State after that, which I'm doing currently. So anyway, that's me. You can introduce yourself now. Sorry I took up all the time.
Well, I'm Scotty Kramer, the third, and I graduated from Central. Bowled all 4 years, but I've been bowling since since I could pick up a ball. I qualified for state 3 years. 2 years, not 3 years.
Yeah, calm down there, buddy.
I was like, wait a minute, that don't sound right. 2 years. I was fortunate enough to be the number 1 seed 1 year, but I ended up getting second.
Mm-hmm. We'll
Following
watch
year,
that
I think
video
I got-
probably.
Let's not.
Let's do it.
I think I'll fry out on the podcast. I might leave.
Oh, you mean you'll fry out watching it?
Yeah, I hate it. I can't stand watching it.
Yeah,
at
we're
all.
definitely going to watch it.
Yeah. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Have you watched it at all since then?
I've watched it about 40,000 times.
Oh.
I was upset. I watched it like every day afterwards, and I was so mad. Like even now, I like sit there. If I think hard enough about it, I start getting mad. Like I start sweating. I'm like, dude, like, because I mean, I'm a 7 pin away from winning state. You know what I'm saying? And it
mhm.
wasn't like it was like couldn't happen. Like whatever, there was a pin in the channel and the freaking.
Are you describing it right now?
Yes, I am right now. Right this second.
Okay,
And the
okay.
head pin flies off the wall, and I'm like, oh, that's a strike. And that
Mhm.
7 pin never moved. It jumped right in front of that 7 pin. I about flipped out. But other than that, I mean, I've qualified for All-State a couple times. I won middle school state 3 times. I was the first ever 5th grade state
Mhm.
champion. And
Yep.
I won my 7th and 8th grade year as well. I think my 7th grade year as a team, we finished second.
I have a story about that when you're done.
Middle
About
school?
you in middle school, yeah.
Oh, I do
Mhm.
remember you and my
You know
dad.
what I'm talking about? Yeah. So, you bowled in middle school, and I can't remember what grade you were in.
That would have been my 7th grade year.
But it was you and this kid at the state finals. We're kind of going back and forth. They didn't have a step
Dude,
ladder or anything.
No, they didn't. But I don't know where that kid went. I don't remember his name. I don't remember what school he was from. I've never seen him since then, ever.
Oh, what? I think.
Computers.
Oh yeah. I set it up to not.
Yeah, you did.
Go to
Still
sleep.
turned off. That's awkward. Anyways.
Okay. So yeah, what? I don't remember him either, honestly.
I don't know. He was good. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
I feel like he was two-handed.
No, I don't think so. He
No?
was right-handed. He was smooth. Even as a middle schooler, I was like, that kid throws it good.
Yeah.
And I was in 7th grade.
Yeah. Well, if you're out there, whoever you are, if you know that we're talking about you, we don't know anything what you look like or what your name is, but reach out to us because we want to talk to you again. But
Back to
the story, right? Yes. Oh God. I just did it again. I'm looking out that window right there. But so your dad and I were watching, and you were going back and forth. There was no step ladder or anything.
It's just 4 games straight up.
4 games straight up, yeah. And you guys were like back and forth every game. And it was really, middle school bowling's pretty tame. You know, there's no yelling
because it's not really,
especially in singles.
Yeah, it's not really a team type thing. Like, well, it's all one thing though. If you made it in team and singles, you bowl all 4 games for the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, I remember one year. I think it was like they cut out semi-state one year, so it's regionals straight to state, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember bowling regionals, and I was like, I think it was my 8th grade year, and I was like, my team's not very good. Like, and I was so
Probably
focused.
watching right now.
Right, probably. But I was so focused on winning singles that like I couldn't even tell you what they shot, where we finished. I was like, I'm bowling my game, that's it. Which was kind of selfish looking back as an 8th grader, but like we were bad.
Well, you're a kid though.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you're a kid. Do you regret that now? You
No.
feel bad about it?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Well, if your team's watching, they know how you feel about
Yeah,
it.
I guess so.
But anyway, golly, I'm never
Yeah,
gonna get through this.
Back to that story.
The story. So your dad and I were just kind of watching, and it was the last game, and you might have thrown a double or something like that to go into the, but we knew where the scores were at, right? And I remember you threw a strike or whatever. It might have been in the 10th frame, but I think you pretty much locked it up at that point,
Mhm.
right? And your dad and I just we just freaked out.
Dude.
We just freaked out, and it was so embarrassing
Yeah.
because we were both so into it. And I mean, we just yelled and screamed, and we were the only people that were audible in the entire building. And then I immediately, because you know, like you're being extra loud. It's like when there's a fight going on that's about to go on at the bowling alley, and everybody's like,
Oh.
you know?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. And I remember being so embarrassed, but it's a funny story to tell now. I wonder if your dad remembers that. I'm sure he does.
I think we've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
I remember from that same day. I think it's game 3, and we switched. He was up first game. I was up second game. He was up third game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or he was up going into the third game or something like that. I don't know. Well, it's like the end of the third game. And I gotta have like the first 2 to get in the 240s or something like that. And I throw the first one, and it's horrible. Like Eve, as a kid, you don't realize how bad your shots are. But like looking
Mhm.
back, and I can visualize how bad the shot was.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything you could do wrong, I did wrong, and it goes dead through the face. And I threw a messenger at the 247, and it was spinning, you know, like this,
Mhm.
like the helicopter spin, and literally hit all 3 pins. And then I throw the next one and crush it. And I looked down to that kid, like not purposefully, but like it just happened. Then I wasn't like that then. In high school,
Mhm.
I was all about the trash talk. But that kid looked at me, and his whole body just like
Oh man,
deteriorated. And
that's bad.
I was like, I felt bad.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, that shot was horrible. Like,
Yeah. Screw my teammates and where they placed, but I feel bad for that kid over there.
Not that year. We was good that year. That was when we got second.
Oh, okay. So now you like them.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Gotcha.
Represent.
Yeah, that's
Southside Middle School.
Everybody feels that way at some point, like it's like you're bowling against somebody for some money or for something, God forbid it's even, for more than that, and they just carry something crazy, and you're just like, oh.
You can't even be mad at them. Like,
Yeah,
they
and
have
you really
no
can't.
control.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What are you gonna do? Hey, I'm not gonna take that.
Right.
I'll just redo it. No, they're not gonna do that. I don't even know if you can do it.
No.
But
rule book says you have to take it. That's words of Charlton Cavet right there.
Charlton Cavet, shout out to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, we're talking about our young days back in youth league when I very first started. Hello. Can they hear that phone? I don't know. Phone's ringing. That's why I said that. But Charlton, yeah, he went to Ball State, and for a little while, the Ball State students, it was like a stipulation that you had to go to Saturday morning youth league and coach. Yeah, I did it.
Oh, I do remember that actually. Yeah. I do.
Yeah, and so when I was in,
that's so weird.
Yeah, I know. Well, what's weird about it? I said, yeah, I know, but
I'm not.
That he okay. So
I'm not.
Okay. So anyway, Charlton had came and was coaching, and that's when I was very first starting league. So I don't if that's probably going to age you a little bit, Charlton. I apologize, but he was the first one that really gave me some in-depth coaching.
Really.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember that vividly. I actually remember one time where I fell down. I stuck and my thumb got caught on the ball. I was throwing a Scout Reactive,
Dude,
green.
I had one of those. Green one?
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
Did? Oh, nice. I still have mine. Do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be Hunter's, my little brother's now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Columbia, right?
Yep.
But that was my first ever bowling ball.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I had that thing drilled conventional and freaking fell down on the lane. Ball never even left my hand. And I remember being so embarrassed by that. And Charlton was right there. And you know what? He didn't say anything about it. So shout out to you, Charlton, because I was so embarrassed and you said nothing about it. And man. But yeah. So did you have a coach like that? Who was the first coach? I think we save this for another day, but we can talk about it now if you want.
I mean, that's fine.
All right. So that was like my first in-depth coach. That kind of. It was more than just technical, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about like lane play a little bit and stuff like that. Who was like a first coach figure for you?
I mean, my dad, of course, was like, he's the one that got me into it. But as far as like getting into like he was more of a fundamentals coach. Like he taught me how to throw the ball and all that type of stuff. But like in the basics of like how a lane breaks down. But like in depth as far as like bowling balls, like what this ball's going to do on this. That was all Slavin, David Slavin. Because, I mean, he ran the pro shop, of course, still does. And my dad helped him coach at Southside. That's where I think that is the only reason I'm as good as I am. Not the only reason, but one of the biggest reasons is because I bowled with him and I wanted to beat all the high schoolers and all that. And Slavin would he'd be coaching them and I'd just kind of sit out and be like, okay, well, they're doing drills or whatever. But he always had me doing something. Always. And that's really where I started to learn, why my ball hooks now and why it doesn't hook at this point and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, he's definitely a big figure, Slavin, I mean. Both Slavin and your dad, really, are big figures here in the Munsee community about or regarding coaching, I mean, because he was obviously a big one of mine when I started high school bowling. He coached that as well as and Clayton McKnight was another head coach during that time. But yeah, we've had I feel like we've always had really good bowlers around here. Yeah. Really good coaches and really good bowlers.
Jeff Anderson is probably the best coach I've ever seen ever.
Oh, yeah?
He's I was struggling my junior year. Might have been my sophomore year, actually. And I was like, dude, I'm struggling. Me and my dad can't figure it out. Slavin's busy in the shop. I need help. And we went down and practiced on 1 and 2 for an hour. And I went out the next night and shot in the church league, actually, and shot 750. And bowl the next week, shoot 760. And a couple weeks later, I shoot my first sanctioned 300 as well as I think I had 796 that night.
And that was in the church league as well.
Yep, those are all in church league.
Yeah, we church league was fun, man. Or when I bowled, it was fun.
It was fun.
It still is,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it was
But
definitely fun.
that was one that the high school kids could bowl in
Yep.
because it wasn't for any money.
Yeah, there's no prize fund.
So I think we actually had a couple, and I'm sure the church league bowlers before that were like, "What the heck? We got a bunch of kids in here now bowling." But I also had a 796 on that league, so we probably tied for like the highest score in that
some
league.
Good bowlers in there though. I mean, Slavin bowled in that for a long time. I don't know if he ever shot 8 or anything in that. But
I don't know. I know he shot 300 there.
Yeah.
But I don't know about that. I don't know about 8. But anyway, I'm gonna check this camera real quick.
All right, you go
See if
ahead.
it's still recording. We can cut this out or put it in. I don't know. I can't get out anyway. I'm gonna be heartbroken if it's not recording. It says it's been stopped automatically.
Oh my God!
I don't know how long. What the?
God dang it!
How long was it? It was 12 minutes.
It was only 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh my
How
God!
long have we been talking?
20.
What?
And you started that before we actually started.
Yeah, it goes down.
That's weird. Well, at least it's not.
No, it's not over. No. Okay. Is that good now? I think
Yeah.
it is.
Sounds good.
Oh my. Okay. So we're back on video, or we should be.
Yeah, for now anyway. Until it turns off.
The camera. It's definitely neither one of our faults.
I think it's your fault.
Wow, I just exonerated you as well as myself, and you threw me right back under the bus.
Well, one of us is working the camera, the other one ain't. I'm just.
Well, no one's working the camera right now. It's sitting right there on that box.
But you started it.
Yeah, well,
It's your sister's, so it's yours.
bruh, hey, that ain't nobody's business. Everybody can see that this is a little bit redneck, okay? So anyway, what were we even talking about?
The church league.
The church
Well,
league?
I mean, that was.
Were we done talking about it?
I think so.
Church league.
I don't know.
Well, I had like a 790 in there, and so did you.
We both had 796.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We were originally introducing ourselves.
Well,
You know we're about to have to cut this part out, right?
what part?
This whole part right here, because
Why?
we ain't said a word yet. Oh my!
Well, now it's gonna be funnier if we keep it in. Let me look at my topics. Now I see I got some notes here because this has kind of went to the wayside. To the wayside, does that make sense? Okay, so what's the goal of this podcast going to be? For me, I think
we talked about that in the beginning.
we did.
I think so.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
That was the very first question.
I kind of mean what is the I don't know how to say it. What do we want to provide with this podcast? I mean, I think I want this to be like entertaining first of all.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it is.
Entertainment and kind of like a news outlet. Like
Yeah.
we don't get the stuff we used to like before. Like they used to send scores into the newspaper and stuff. I don't know if they even do that
I
anymore.
don't even think they have newspapers. I think they were abolished.
But I mean, we'd like to do that definitely, or I would anyways. High scores around the area.
Mm-hmm. I definitely want to have some recognition for people that don't usually get recognition.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that'd be kind of like giving back to the bowling community. I think
For
we're
sure.
really trying to invigorate the bowling community. Does that make sense? Kind of give a shot in the arm, make something exciting for
Right,
bowlers.
for sure. Something that gets people interested.
Yeah, something to look forward to. And plus, I mean, for me personally, I don't know about you, but I've always had kind of I'm an accountant, right? So my creative, I'm scratching my creative itch by like updating the formulas in the Excel spreadsheet, But I've always had like a creative itch that was never really, I could never really scratch,
You couldn't figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, and I've made videos on this channel, on the Spare Shooter channel before, but they were just kind of me throwing the ball, and I give some kind of text commentary on
Right.
what it's supposed to do and all the specs and whatnot,
Yeah.
which is fine. I love doing that, and I'll probably keep doing it.
Right.
But I never really.
You wanted something that was more you, like
Yeah,
just
I
kind of
never-
open.
I never injected my personality into it,
Right.
and not to seem pretentious, but I think I'm an all right person.
Right.
I think people enjoy my company for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have that itch too that
For sure. I always like find myself getting into like sports and stuff, and I can never figure out what I want to do with it. Like, and I realize like I can talk about sports and stuff all day. I can talk about bowling all day long. So like, why not start a podcast?
Yeah, and I think when we started, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but we go to Anderson. We live in Munsee. We go to Anderson every week, Monday and Tuesday, to bowl, and we just had so many conversations on the way over there.
Right. That's where it really started.
Yeah.
Was just the 20-minute drives back and forth. We're like, dude, why don't we record this?
Exactly.
That's literally how it happened.
I mean, and we just laugh and laugh, and I think people will enjoy listening to that because I think this will just be a more formal extension of what now we're not gonna have anything to talk about on the way there.
Right.
So
that's what we did. That at some, we were like, once we decided we were gonna start one, we was like, don't talk about that.
Yeah, I know.
Like, let's save it.
Yeah,
You know
because we want to share things with each other for the
Right.
first time.
Right. Make it more of a
More
real
genuine.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, and I'm just beyond excited about it. To be honest with you, we had a little bit of problem here recording, but I think we're gonna keep in the sound.
So the audio and everything works fine.
Yeah, the audio is still going. So I think we're going to keep that in. We had some good conversation there, talking about some influences we've had. And that's good. I mean, we really didn't have a set topic.
At all. We just kind of turned it on just so we could get a feel for it.
Yeah. And I think I was pretty nervous about it, I think. But once we turned it on and everything, I'm more comfortable now. I don't know about you, but it's kind of like flow of consciousness, and I feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? We need to shout out our social medias and stuff, but is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we kind of wrapped it up for the first episode? We've been going for like a half hour almost. Is that legit?
Sounds good for our first one, anyway.
Okay.
With no topics.
Yeah, I know.
We just kind of started talking.
Yeah, so apologies, I guess, for that. We haven't even released an episode. I'm apologizing for our content already.
That sounds great.
But yeah, hopefully the audience kind of has got to know us a little bit, and our personalities. And then I think with the next episode, we're going to start having some set topics to talk about.
For sure.
We've got some notes and
make it a little bit more organized and not just talking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how do you start a podcast? Who knows? I guess like this.
Yeah, I guess
we did exactly like this. Yeah. So this is a big deal of ours. We've been talking about it for a long time. So I think we're pretty elated to start kind of conversing with the audience and having some interaction, because that's really what we want. I mean,
for sure, more of a bowlers podcast.
Yeah,
like, for them, not.
Yeah, exactly, and not to alienate anybody else.
Right,
I mean, hopefully,
can listen.
hopefully other people are entertained by this, because we had some. I mean, we announced that we're gonna keep going on and on. We announced that we're launching this podcast like 2 weeks ago at the time of recording this, wasn't it? 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we had a bunch of folks that were interacting and saying how excited they were that don't even bowl.
That have never even stepped foot in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
That gives me hope, though. Like, because before I was like, man, like, you have that thought in the back of your head, you're like, we're going to start this and it's going to suck. You know what I mean? Like,
I still have it.
Well, yeah,
no,
me too, a little bit. But like, I was nervous, like, we're going to post these and we're going to get 3 likes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. But
and we're very thankful for those 3 people.
Right,
though.
exactly.
Don't get that twisted.
But it does make you feel a little bit better that there's people that don't even, like, your targeted audience. Your
attaboy.
Targeted audience. Plus some other people are still going to watch it. So
Yeah. So that's really exciting. And we just posted a thing today about having the audience guess what our score is going to be later tonight, because we actually bowl against each other. So we're going to see how that goes. I'll try not to be offended by any of the guesses that you have.
He just has to remember it's on house. That's why he's.
But we are at Munsee Lanes.
That is true, but right up 5. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and shout out our social medias.
Yeah.
So I'll put a graphic in here as well, assuming the camera's still recording.
Yeah, probably not.
So we are Left Side of the Lane on Facebook. It's our official Facebook page. You can find us there. You can also find us at LSOTL Podcast on Twitter. And we also have a Gmail account, LSOTLP. No, sorry. LSO. I should have rethought this. LSOTL Podcast at gmail.com. It's the initials, okay? It's the initials. The initials of the podcast. So just give us an email or shoot us a message or a tweet. We'll be taking any kind of questions that anybody has. Guest suggestions. We'll be having guests eventually.
Yeah.
So
Once
that's
we get
another
a little
thing.
bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Because
I think
Hello?
that's what I'm most excited for. is
What, the guests?
The guests.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
I said hello because the phone rang again, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not just weird. But yeah, we've got some guests lined up, I think, that are excited to come on. And that was another thing that's flattering. We had a bunch of people.
There's a bunch of people that are like, yeah, I want to be on there.
Yeah, let me come
a lot
on.
of people normally are just like, yeah, I don't. Like, that's not me. I don't want to talk.
Yeah, but we had a bunch of interaction in that capacity too, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, like I said, we'll take questions that we can answer on the podcast, and we'll probably give you a shout out. You know, this person asked this question. Any kind of topic suggestions? I was thinking that we might take voicemails eventually if we can get that figured out.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
probably
that'd be fun.
Figure that out. and
Maybe
have
some
them
live
just recorded
calls.
on the podcast themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've got a bunch of ideas, but hit us up at any one of those can't even talk. Any one of those outlets, and we'll get back to you, and you might be featured on this podcast. So I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, thanks to Munsee Lanes for letting us use their rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and Slavin for letting us keep our stuff in the pro shop.
David Slavin, yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate it so much. Now, don't come and steal it now that you know exactly where
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
But okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.